All right, eagle-eyed searchers, welcome back to another edition of the Pocket Change Market Report for September 5th, 2020. Welcome to September, first ever report for the month. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and gauge exactly what's going on. The summer was hot and steamy, not only in the actual temperatures outside, as you guys are battling through that, probably even still to this day, but equally important, the collectibles market is just, it's a wildfire. We've seen a lot of success stories, and the coin variety and error part of it, especially these raw coins we're going to talk about in this video, have been nothing short but just miraculous. The sales and the amount of money realized for each one of them has been outstanding. So if you guys wanted to see exactly what's been selling, you guys need a little, I guess, extra inspiration on what you can find in not only pocket change, but if you're able to pick up some original bankrolls, people have been searching through those as well with just tremendous amounts of success. So searchers are getting creative with their secondary market sales. I think it comes a little bit twofold. I've noticed here in the last about 10 days, because of, just how wild and crazy and how positive the market has been, a lot of people are trying to get their lion's share of what's available out there. And because of maybe a little bit of inexperience when it comes to identifying a variety or an error, there are a lot of listings on eBay that are coming across as damaged coins, and there's more and more and more of them. Some people who don't know any better will get sucked into these listings, thinking it's one thing when in reality it's not. So there is definitely a lot of buyer beware. I may actually do a separate video chronicling some of the coins that have been selling that aren't an error or variety, but can be construed as damaged or something to that effect. I think it's a necessary video to do as we go into the holiday season. Generally, the holiday season is spurned by a lot of just extra activity when it comes to roll searching and pocket change searching, or maybe cashing out that piggy bank, I guess, which is what a lot of people do to get ready for Christmas. That will be coming up here really soon. Another thing that I wanted to mention, kind of like a house cleaning type thing, 2020 coins are hitting the streets right now. We're beginning to see just the overproduction of what the U.S. Mint's capabilities are. We're beginning to see more and more 2020 coins coming out in all denominations, short of half dollars and dollars. So we're seeing a lot of wild and crazy quality control issues with a lot of these coins. A lot of them are U.S. Mint errors in theory, but also a lot of them just really look bad. Okay, there's a lot of marks. These things weren't exactly white gloved. Okay, the quality control just took a dumper in the most recent release of coins, and that's going to be reflective on the secondary market as well. We're not going to talk about too many 2019 or 2020 coins in this particular PCMR report, but I will be doing another complimentary video on just some of the wild and crazy sales that we've seen from some of those errors that have sold here in the last 2 weeks. It'll give you an idea of just what's out there and the possible opportunity that exists to really make some money in that particular date. I guess 2020, 2019, we're seeing a lot of it out there. But we have 20 coins in attendance for the PCMR for this week, all coming off of eBay. Every single coin or piece of currency is raw. We don't talk generally about graded coins or any of that material on here, because the idea is you want to find the coin out of whatever method that you come across the change or the paper money, and then go ahead and turn it around, take an image, sell it on eBay for 7 days or as a buy now listing, and then just making money off that way. That's probably the easy money in regards to a lot of these, but also people are cherry picking some older coins as well. And that is also another idea for you guys to take a look at. So we're already 5 minutes in. Let's go ahead and jump into the PCMR for the week. A lot of the sales are from within the last 24 to 48 hours, so keep that in mind. These are fresh realized sales. And we're going to go ahead and start it off with a simple good old 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent. As you guys can see, this one is off-center by about 10%. It's an earlier date, which is what people like to see. This coin right here looks like it is circulated quite well before it was discovered and retained for possible sale or in a collection. You can see a few of the little rim nicks here. I don't know, that's just kind of commonalities with these coins, as the banks are using machinery to put these in rolls or to count them, and usually if a coin is out of round or a different shape or larger, then you're going to get some damage on some of these coins. But this one right here sold for $19.99. So even a coin in this particular condition with some what looks to be paint or whatever on the front of the coin, it really doesn't matter. If the coin has a pretty nice, sizable, considerable error, people will buy it. So for 20 bucks, not a bad buy. So the next one that we have here, this would be more geared towards the folks that like to cherry pick coins. I would say any sort of error like this, as minor as it can be on an older coin that still has quite a bit of eye appeal, definitely is desired on the secondary market. This is an 1874 Indian head cent. This one, as you can see, has a really nice sized rim clip. That involves even some letters in United. It even goes as far as touching the wreath on the reverse. But this one right here, a really pleasing, I would say, kind of like XF condition coin. Looks very original. This one sold for $91.71. Probably about 25 to 30% higher than what a standard 1874 Indian head cent would sell for in this grade. The error part of it just adds a little bit more pizzazz to a collector, and since you have an error collector coming in to take a look at these, you're going to have quite a bit of interest on something like this. Check out those National Park quarters. Even the most subtle of details will actually earn you a few bucks in the process. What we have here is a 2017 Philadelphia Frederick Douglass District of Columbia National Park quarter. Now, this one right here, if you looked up and down, if you took a second, go ahead and pause the actual feed for this video and just take a look and just kind of make a determination of what you guys see that might actually be worth holding on to. Probably 99.9% of you will not see anything specific or noteworthy that's worth keeping this coin out of circulation. Again, it's a Philadelphia minted coin. A lot of your notable varieties and errors come from that facility just because they mint and produce so many more coins than the Denver Mint. So you're going to see lackadaisical quality control. You're going to see more errors and varieties through the Philadelphia Mint. But if you looked up closer on the reverse, little bit of a die chip right here on Frederick Douglass's lapel. And that is exactly what this eagle-eyed collector slash seller saw in this. That's the potential. Now, how much does something like this go for? Well, this particular example sold for $8.15. Realistically, probably $3.50 of that is going to be the profit made on something like this. Again, it really helps if you have a really nice magnifier. You're going to be able to see finer details like this that normally everybody else wouldn't pick up on right away. If you guys need a magnifier, keep in mind, if you look below in my descriptor box under the video, there are Amazon links to some of what I consider to be some of the best product, best bang for your buck for coin supplies. A nice quality magnifier is important in this hobby, so go ahead and check that out. And you should be on Easy Street by the time you receive that in the mail. 8 times power is definitely suitable for error and variety hunting. The next coin here actually comes from Australia. This is a coin that was sold by a collector in Australia. Nice little pickup right here. It's a 1998 Lincoln Memorial cent. This one right here, of course, is the wide AM. You can see the gap between the A and M right here. That's not typical, so that's a transitional reverse type coin. As you guys know, there's wide AMs for 98, 99, and 2000 only for this transitional. If it's any other date, it just doesn't exist. But 1998, this coin is anything but stellar condition. I would say it's probably a mint state 61, 62. This one right here sold for $9.99 here in the last 24 hours. All right, so there are people that like to sell groups of error coins. And you got to keep in mind, if you are going to do this, you will have to accept the lesser amount of value when you sell in bulk. Now, 3 coins doesn't seem like a bulk type deal, but I guarantee you it is. What we have here is a 1959D Lincoln cent with a pretty small rim clip. That's at the 12 o'clock position. That's the top left coin. The top right coin, we have an off-center struck example that's probably like 85% off-center. And then finally, we have a Type 2 blank planchet. I would assume that that is a copper-coated zinc planchet made for a cent. So you have these 3 coins that, as a group, you know, they all seem to be relatively minor as far as the desirability factor for them on the secondary market. But what people are doing is they're taking advantage of these bulk lots. Okay, this one right here is sold for $16.75. Someone will buy this because either A, they want to add this to their collection. Maybe they don't have any of these particular errors for their collection. Or they'll buy them and relist them on eBay for like $9.99 shipped. Okay, and then through all of it, it might take, 2 weeks or a month to sell them. But the idea is you buy these and then you sell them separately for $10, and then you'll come out ahead at the end. You probably end up making maybe $10, $12. But if you buy enough of these grouped lots, that's where a lot of the potential are. Okay, 3 coins seems like hardly a bulk deal, but I've seen people sell 20 coins, 50 coins, 100 errors, and that's where a lot of the potential lies when it comes to flipping using eBay listings. All right, keep that in mind. So it really doesn't matter how ugly a coin is. This one right here has a few issues. It's got this pretty sizable rim bump or whatever this is here. It's definitely damaged, and you see this little score mark right here where something dug into the coin. Aside from that, the coin, this 2-cent 1865 example, has seen a hard, rough life. Okay, as seen. The coin even looks clean. So why does this matter in the scope of the PCMR report? Well, it is also a repunched date. Okay, you can actually see the secondary one. The one's been punched twice. You can see it here on the top of the 8, the 6. And then the 5, you see it probably a little bit less, but this is called also the Fancy 5 variety, which is actually really common. Don't let that fool you. This is a very common date type, but because of the repunch date, this adds a little bit of exclusivity to a lot of collectors. And for that very reason, this one sold for $19.50, whereas the coin on its face was probably cherry-picked for about $2 to $3 because of the damage. All right, so you see the opportunity there. This might have been cherry-picked from a local coin show or a shop, or maybe just going through an old collection and finding this. There is, again, a lot of potential with cherry-picking older coins because if you find the right variety, it's worth some serious money. All right, jumping back on to something a little bit newer, we have a 2002 Philadelphia Roosevelt dime. This one is double struck, although it's not what I would consider to be a very, very amazing double struck coin. I mean, you have the regular strike, and then you have the secondary strike that's about 95% off center, but there's virtually no details on the second strike. So, it's probably the least desirable the double struck coin, but it is there. This one right here sold for $27.99. Would I say that this is something that you would come across and change? You might, but some people would see this and say, "Oh yeah, that thing's damaged." But if you looked at this with clear vision, you'll see that this is a genuine mint error. So here's a state quarter. Very, very subtle error that is on this one. It's a 2007 Denver. This is the first Denver coin on the list, I believe. Washington quarter. This is the Washington State quarter. This one is simply just off center by about 5%. This one right here sold for $15.48. This generally would escape a lot of people's view as they're sitting there spending it. It really doesn't look like a whole lot. So for 25-cent initial investment, I mean, the coin has obviously been circulated. You could just tell looking at this. But that's a pretty nice little flip, when you're able to make $15 off of something that costs you a quarter. Check out some of those earlier 1950s Lincoln wheat cents for just a multitude of repunch mint marks. This is one of the bigger ones, of course. I've talked about this one. They always seem to come up. But it's just a really, really desirable RPM. So this one right here is a D over D, 1956 Lincoln wheat cent. The condition is such that it's it's okay. It's like an XF 45-ish. It looks like there's a couple little scrapes here right by Liberty. But yeah, take a look at that. That is unmistakably one of the top end RPMs for this decade. This one here is sold for $11.50, which is not too bad considering the little bit of damage on the obverse of the coin and its current condition. All right, so this is probably the newest coin on the list, 2019 Denver. Here we go. This is a Denver mint coin, and for a lot of you that say, well, there's not really a whole lot to look for in the Denver struck examples, here is a cautionary tale. Do not throw these away without at least taking a second glance at them. I mean, at first appearance, it really doesn't look like a whole lot, but when you look at the reverse, these have a couple of pretty nice die gouges. Okay, this is probably as a result of feeder finger damage onto the die, the working die rather. But you can see a couple of these raised grooves right here, okay, that have translated into something really nice. So we have a couple die gouges on the right side of the shield on this coin. You also have them going through the stripes on the middle of the shield. You can see these little parallel lines all throughout here, which is pretty nice. And it even pops out on the left side of the shield just above the 1 in 1 cent. So you have this line, this spike coming out here, but this is fantastic. You can even see a few of them right here as kind of like a finisher on this coin. So how much did this one sell for? How about $19.80? I guarantee you, probably a lot of you on the West Coast have thrown this coin out and have dismissed it as anything else but. Because it's a brand new coin, we wouldn't typically consider these as kind of like a coin that you would look for. But knowing that something like this exists, it'll exist on other coins, because I'm sure many hundreds, if not thousands of them were produced with these die gouges. It is definitely worth getting under a microscope to see if this is there. Because if you could make $15, $20 per coin, I would say why the heck not? That would turn out to be a pretty nice flip. All right, so here we go. Here's another coin that doesn't look very good at first glance. This 1968 Philadelphia Lincoln Memorial looks pretty gosh darn rough. But, if you take a close look at it, the coin is broad struck. You can just tell just how much wider the coin is. Everything's just all stretched out. But again, this coin has seen quite a bit of action in circulation. And for this coin, it sold for $18.50. Pretty amazing, but make sure that you leave no stone unturned. Talk about broad struck. This one really, when I came across this one in the eBay completed sold listings, this one actually has a lot more than just being broad struck, because of the process in which a broad strike works. Okay, and that is there's no collar. to hold the coin in as it's being struck. It's either you know depressed down onto the anvil die, or it's just not there. A lot of pretty interesting things happen on these copper-coated zinc broad strikes. Okay, this one was even touted as having a double profile, which is one of those things that happens on a pretty sizable broad strike. As a matter of fact, the look of this coin, it's probably a little bit bigger than the size of a nickel. That's how much it's stretched out. But this is common to see on a broad strike, and it is visually stunning. And that's one of the big kind of like hot points, the buttons, rather, that error collectors look for. They like to look at things, a little bit extra and above and beyond what a normal type of error would be. And the condition is just overall very nice. This one, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $155.92. You didn't expect that coming, because otherwise this is like a $15, $20 coin. But because of certain aspects of this broad strike, it sold for so much more. Okay, so I keep telling everybody, a rim clip is a relatively minor error, but if you're able to find one with 2 rim clips, 3, 4, they do exist, believe me. This 1983 Denver, here's another Denver, Kennedy half dollar, exhibits 2 rim clips. It's genuine, even has the Blakesley effect on this particular area right here, even though it's right next to a clip. This one right here sold for $54. Okay, it's a really nice high-grade example that also plays a pretty good role in why this sold for the amount of money it did. Take a look at those old coins. You just never know what you're going to find. This looks like a cherry pick out of nowhere. It's an Indian head cent, obviously. It features no date. It has a lot of corrosion and gunk on it. So the coin will never straight grade, even if you did send it to PCGS or NGC. But this is something that has flown under the radar for a long time. And I don't know where it got cherry picked at. Maybe it was discovered 40, 50, 60 years ago, and it has stayed in the collection. But even at that time, it's circulated quite frequently. But in any event, this one sold for $179.20. Yeah, make sure you check every single coin in your collection or in someone else's collection. You never know what can pop up. This is one of those. Okay, so this is a sneaky one. And I would say just about everybody would overlook this, but someone, God bless their heart, whoever discovered this coin certainly, went through it with a very process that's very anal in nature. This is a double struck 1995 Philadelphia Washington quarter. This one left me pretty much speechless, and that's why I'm kind of chopping my words right now. There's just no way to describe exactly where you could find something like this, or having just the patience and fortitude to look at a 1995 quarter. Usually I would just throw these out and just consider them just spendables. But if you look closely at the edge, you can see the doubled rim. You can even see a secondary struck E in Liberty on the obverse. You can even see a few of the other letters too. But on the reverse, underneath $quarter, you can see the double struck, the secondary struck image right here. So it was double struck, and it was probably offset by less than 1%. That's how minor it is. But believe me, if you took the time to look at every single coin, you could find stuff like this. Now, how much did this one sell for? $46.60. So by taking that extra moment to look at something a little bit deeper, you could find stuff like this and then ultimately make some pretty good extra money. A double strike error is no joke. People do want these, and as minor as this one is, still commands a nice lofty premium. Alright, so we got a nice little obverse cut on this 1982 small date. This is a bronze composition coin. As you can see, it's right over the words "In God We Trust." So the die had broken, and at one point the piece had fallen off, and it looks like a blob on the coin after it's struck. This one right here is sold for $59. There's really, it needs no other further explanation. These coins are very desirable, and they continue to sell for a good deal of money every time. So here's one. I mean, if you guys aren't looking through your, or even going to the bank rather, looking for these golden dollar coins, I'm telling you, you're really missing out. This is a 2000 Philadelphia sack dollar, and it's the Wounded Eagle variety. You could see actually that die gouge right here that everybody looks for, and that's why it got its namesake. So this one, the Wounded Eagle, you're never going to believe this. The coin obviously is circulated. Sold for $428.50. That's like a car payment to a lot of people. So this $20 bill is much older. It's a 1934 Series D. And this one features a really cool gutterfold error, of course, prior to the printing of the front design. The subject sheet had a wrinkle in it. And when you print over the wrinkle, it's going to leave these voids. It's only until after you stretch out the wrinkle do you see kind of like the masterpiece that you see here. But these do exist in newer notes. So, you know, just because this is a note that's 80 years old or whatever, you can't understate the importance of, you know, something like this, even in newer dated notes. This one sold for $79. Not too bad. Very, very nice. And then the reverse, the note sheet had been stretched out before this printing was applied to the back of that sheet. So here's another rim cut, or this is actually a full-blown cut. It's a little bit more minor than the previous one that we saw, but here's another 1982. This time it's a large date, and it looks and appears to be a bronze composition coin. You can see the cut right here at the base of Lincoln's bust. Again, this is something that you guys should be finding and then pulling out. This condition, the condition of the coin is not fantastic. It's got a bunch of stains and carbon spots, but even still, it's sold for $25. That's easy money right there. And then finally, we're going to end it off on kind of like the surprising listing of the whole shebang. This is a 1990 something, I would say 1992 or 1993 Roosevelt dime that exhibits really strong die clashing. It's very evident on the reverse right here. Probably one of the strongest I've seen. I could only imagine this coin in mint state. It would just be simply just like a fireworks show. That's how strong it is. And then you can even see it on the obverse. You can see it on the neck, on the jawline, in front of his face is where you normally see it. But this is an incredibly powerful die clash. And even in this condition, okay, a lot of people would say, oh God, I don't even want to touch the thing. It's got 7 days of snot on there. But this one right here, even though you can't read the date and for its conditions, did sell for $29.05. This is a coin that honestly, on any other given condition of coin, would sell probably for about $75 to $100. Which, there you go. Who would have thought that this coin is worth the amount of money it is in this great state? But yeah, that's a huge one. And again, check out every single coin. If it's dirty, put gloves on, because again, you never know what you're going to overlook if you don't take the time to look through these coins. But anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for this edition of the Pocket Change Market Report for September 5th. We're almost to fall. And yeah, people are going to be doing a lot more coin roll hunting. We're going to see a lot more coins being injected into the market as we get closer to the holidays. It's the same narrative, guys, every single year. So that opportunity is there. Make sure you check it out. Again, we have the 150,000 subscriber giveaway video that I did about 2 weeks ago. Go ahead and check it out. Just go ahead into my video feed. It's probably 10 to 12 videos in. I want you guys to check it out if you're interested. We have about 5 coins we're giving away to everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a subscriber or not. I would love it if you subscribe. Of course, I'm going to pitch that here in a moment. But we are going to be doing the live draw. Actually, it's not going to be live. I'm just going to be doing the draw for the coins on Monday, September 7th. That's Labor Day. You guys probably all have an extended weekend, so a great way to kind of cap off the Labor Day weekend is doing a good old-fashioned Blue Ridge Silverhound giveaway to a lot of my loyal subscribers and viewers. So I'm going to thank you guys. Go ahead and check it out. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for instant notifications. If you're not getting the instant notifications, go ahead and click off the bell and then click it back on and hit all on there, all notifications. They've changed it up again here recently. But anyways, that's going to do it. Hope you guys had fun with this one, and whatever you do, good luck with your hunts, and I will see you on the next coin video. You guys take care.